Is that actually recording now?
Do that. As much as I can. It's important. After that, that's why.
Ariana, are there any seats down there? Is there
Oh, right next to Reed. Ava.
Could you pass it down?
Is everyone ready? I'm supposed to tell you that there's a camera there, and just to be careful not to trip on the wire. Got it? Okay. So welcome everyone to our annual Phaedrus Senior Ceremony, and we obviously got a very beautiful day to celebrate our seniors. So, of course, we'd like to start with our thank yous to everyone in the audience. Phaedrus is truly all that it is because of each of you. Whether you are a current student or a newly admitted one, a family member of Phaedrus students, our program's 3 caring and supportive psychologists, Michelle, Mitch, and Kelly, our high school administrators, Kyle, Mary, Rose, and Sharon, our EHS faculty, counselors, and staff, Superintendent Dr. Hamilton, all of our district administrators, our Edgemont Board of Education members, Phaedrus alums, and more. Pam and I are so grateful to all of you for your support and participation in our special program. I want to give an extra big shout out to Pam, who literally does it all while making everything somehow look easy. Not sure how you do it, Pam, but I know that we all try our best to follow your example, most of all me. So, I've been thinking about a conversation that I recently overheard while I was driving my daughter and her friend. Yes, of course, I try not to listen when I'm driving my kids around, but all of the grown-ups in the audience today will agree with me. Even though we complain about being your Uber drivers, we also secretly really like it because we get to be part of your world for a few extra minutes each day. Anyway, they were talking about this new course that my daughter is taking this year. The program is kind of like Science Scholars, but focuses on humanities and research. So it's a bit of a mix between final projects and Phaedrus. As a parent, I have enjoyed watching my daughter develop new interests and topics ranging from social justice to copyright infringement in music to environmental concerns and more. She has become genuinely interested in what she's been learning, which as her mom has been awesome to see. But let me get back to my eavesdropping. So then my daughter's friend asked her the inevitable questions. What do you learn in that class? What does that class actually teach you? She was curious, but to be honest, she also sounded skeptical. I could tell she wanted to know how a class could essentially be run by students presenting their research. That got me thinking about how you all, well, let's be honest, how we all face these kinds of questions all the time. You know the ones. How can a program without grades incentivize students to learn? How can students facilitate discussions or plan interactive lessons with their peers? What can students learn by pitching a tent in the woods or by navigating the city on a walk from Grand Central to Bryant Park to a theater in Times Square? How do we make time for social emotional learning and community building exercises, analyzing and interpreting literature, writing workshops, public speaking, interning in school classrooms, hospitals, and not-for-profit organizations, discussing historical and current events, engaging in fundraisers and community service, all in a week, every week? It's hard to explain to those who don't know the Phaedrus program like we do, don't live it every day, perhaps don't understand what we do and how we learn. But lucky for me, everyone here today does understand the power and the value of this amazing program, and our seniors especially know its meaning well. Each of you have embodied the spirit of Phaedrus in so many ways. Like Avery, who ran our annual Color Run event 2 years in a row in honor of our beloved Taylor, and Aaron, who fearlessly led our camping group on a hike back to the sleep site in the dark, and Lauren, determined to learn carpentry not only in books, who met with Mr. Scally after school well beyond the final project time period to build a desk with her own 2 hands. And of course, Alex, who understands the subtle nuances in a novel 1 minute and then playfully laughs during a silly wilderness game the next. And Hannah, who fills her books with notes, observations, and questions, taking in every second of class so she can add even more. And of course, when Wesley gave his final project audience members a drink of potentially caffeinated juice before explaining the scientific benefits behind the placebo effect. And when Maddie transformed her adoration for Taylor Swift into a convincing and intellectual argument about the poetry and educational value of her favorite artist's lyrics. And when Charlie shared his passion for film, television, basketball, and even aliens in witty, creative, and thought-provoking ways. Finally, Abby, who cheers on everyone around her, complimenting their performances and making sure we all feel cared for. And Alina, who, despite feeling nervous, presented each of her projects and speeches with grace and poise, all because she pushed herself outside of her comfort zone. So when people ask us, what do you learn in Phaedrus? We try to explain as best we can, though our answers may differ from one another. But mostly we try to show the impact of this special program through our actions, intellectual curiosity, and our willingness to take risks and ask for help when we need support. Seniors, we are certain that these lessons will take you far when you leave here, and that Phaedrus will stay with you long after you graduate. The spirit of this program will continue to shine through all you do, learn, and create. So when people ask you what you learned in Phaedrus, you'll know just what to say. And one more tip, last one I promise. As your teacher and also as a mom, when one of your family members asks you to come for a ride in the car, look them in the eye, smile, and say yes. I promise that you will all be grateful for those extra few minutes together. And now we'd like to welcome our alumni speaker, Matt Cantor, class of 2019, who will share his own experience and advice with you. Thank you so much, Matt, for being here this afternoon.
Give me a second, I'm gonna have to raise this a few inches. How we doing? Thank you, Corey, for the introduction. My name is Matthew Cantor, and as a fellow graduate of the Phaedrus program in the class of 2019, oh boy, this mic is not agreeing with me. I am honored to be here today speaking to all of you. To this year's graduating class, today marks the first of what will be many crowning achievements throughout the rest of your lives. So congratulations, you've truly made it. And let today mark the beginning of your time of discovery, success, and perseverance. Before I begin, I just wanted to thank a few people here today. First and foremost, to Pam and Corey. Thank you both so incredibly much for not only providing me the opportunity to speak here today, but for your universal support for myself and all other Phaedrites, past or present, throughout not only our high school years, but beyond. To my mom, thank you for facing every single battle head on and for raising 3 determined kids. I know it wasn't always easy and that you had to make sacrifices along the way, but I am so incredibly grateful for you in ways beyond your imagination. And to the staff here at Edgemont, thank you all for providing me a space to learn, grow, and flourish creatively, whether it be in Mr. Nicolosi's 5th grade English class, Mr. DeCara's math class, or Magister Hansenbrook and Magister Condos' Latin classes. I appreciate it endlessly. So, let's begin. Let me set the stage for you. February 3rd, 2008, the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, as the 18-0 New England Patriots faced off against the upstart 12-6 New York Giants. It's the quintessential story of the underdog versus the monolith, the rebels versus the empire. See, the whole season to that point, the Patriots had truly seemed insurmountable, led by quarterback Tom Brady, wide receiver Randy Moss, and head coach Bill Belichick, all of whom are or will be one day in the Professional Football Hall of Fame. Now, to many, Super Bowl 42 was a write-in for the first undefeated season in the NFL since the legendary 1972 Miami Dolphins. And with the score being 14-10 in New England's favor with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock, the near certain prediction was ready to be fulfilled. And then what happened? On a last gasp effort, 3rd and 5 on their own 44-yard line with 1 minute 15 remaining, Giants quarterback Eli Manning takes the snap and shotgun, rolls out to his right, somehow evades pressure on a heavy blitz from the Patriots' defensive line, and throws a moonbeam of a pass that would inexplicably wedge itself within the right hand and helmet of receiver David Tyree. 4 plays later, Manning would throw the game-winning touchdown to Plaxico Burress, and the impossible, the truly improbable, had materialized. The New York football giants, the David, had slain the Goliath Patriots. And while jubilation erupted throughout the Giants' faithful across the nation, nowhere did it mean more than in a blue house at the dead end of Delhi Road as I sat and celebrated with a man going through his own fight against the monolith. See, life in itself will always be a story of trials and tribulations. Sometimes you'll be tested in ways far beyond your perception, but nothing, truly nothing, is impossible. It echoes a personal favorite quote: "Keep your hopes up high and your head down low." Now, I entered the Phaedrus program as a terrified junior, uncertain of really anything outside of the fact that I couldn't string 2 words together without a shiver going down my spine. But the A school was, and forever will be, the most important experience of my life. Within the Phaedrus program, I was taught to be brave, to understand that every single internalized feeling and fear that I held within my guts was purely a product of my own self-doubt. What Pam and Corey were able to mold from my shaky, terrified self is who stands in front of you today. Through classes on public speaking, writing, and history, I was able to solidify my collegiate aspirations of working in sports journalism and left 200 White Oak Lane in 2019 unafraid to jump in the deep end. At the University of Wisconsin, I was able to implement crucial skills and lessons I learned in Phaedrus to find new avenues to explore. I wrote and produced original content for USA Today Sports digital property, launched my own news medium startup, served as a lead play-by-play commentator for Wisconsin women's basketball and women's hockey on the Big Ten Network, opened for a nationally touring DJ Audion at a Madison venue, and now manage the sales for a nationwide manufacturing brand across 6 different states. Now, outside of career-based success, I was able to utilize my social-emotional learning skills I developed in Phaedrus to network with entirely new communities, take part in new volunteering opportunities, and build relationships with new friends and even my soon-to-be fiance. All of this unimaginable insanity and success is due to the drive and determination that I grew in Phaedrus. To say the Phaedrus program means the world to me is an understatement. This program was crucial in developing every single trait for success, both in my professional and personal life. Phaedrus helped me persevere through my own trials and tribulations, including the loss of my father to thymic cancer during my senior year, and helped me discover who I was and who I wanted to be. And I can never thank Pam and Corey enough for all they have done for myself and fellow Phaedrites, past or present. To this year's incoming class of Phaedrites, where I don't know where you are in the audience, but wherever you are, know that you are truly in good hands. Do not be afraid to jump in the deep end and to explore the unexplored. This time of discovery will be one you cherish for the rest of your lives. And to this year's graduating class, I offer a few words of advice. Do not be afraid of what comes next on your journey. You are ready to face anything and everything life throws at you. Always and forever remember that the only way is up. Embrace the mindset of growth that you cultivated in Phaedrus, and you will find your own success. And for one last point, I'd like to conclude the speech with a crucial lesson from my father that took me almost 5 years to learn. Your strengths will take you so incredibly far, and the sooner that you can truly embrace yourself, the happier you will be. Thank you. And now the juniors.
Hello. Welcome all to the 2024 Phaedrus Senior Ceremony, an incredibly special event where we get to recognize our program's amazing seniors. From the minute we walked into Phaedrus, the seniors have been welcoming and supportive, always putting in a tremendous amount of effort to create meaningful friendships and memories within our Phaedrus community. Seniors, we promise to lead by your example next year, and we will work hard to be as inclusive as you have been. We have enjoyed our time with you as our mentors and feel closely connected to you all. Now, we would like to personally thank all of you for everything you've contributed to the program this year. Also, please hold all applause to the end.
Avery, we'll miss your incredible leadership skills. You've always been supportive and willing to help anyone with anything, and take on many important roles in our community. especially for the color run, and we truly admire you for it.
You've been the best mentor anyone could ask for. You accepted us as your mentees with such welcoming arms. We know you'll continue to be as kind and supportive as you were with us. We'll miss you. Have the best time at Penn State.
Alina, thank you so much for all your help this year in Phaedrus. You were such a great mentor, and I seriously couldn't have asked for a better one. You were welcoming from the start of the year all the way till the end. And whenever I had questions, I never hesitated to ask you because you were always very approachable and gave me thoughtful and helpful answers. I'm going to miss you next year, and I hope you had an amazing senior year in Phaedrus. Have so much fun at John Jay next year.
Maddie, we'll miss you so much. Everything about you is admirable. Your generosity, your reliability, your creativity, your amazing leadership, and your great mentoring. You care about Phaedrus, and it's reflected in the effort you put into projects and your job as academic.
You've always held your hand out to anyone who needs it and always went out of your way to help. Thank you for making our first year in Phaedrus so memorable. We are really going to miss you, and you're going to kill it at Syracuse.
Alex, your bug-catching skills and passion for learning will be dearly missed in Phaedrus. You are creative, understanding, and free-spirited. You are truly unique, and we were always inspired by your wise contributions in class. You've shown us what it means to be a part of Phaedrus community through passion and the effort you put into all of your work. We can't wait to see all the amazing things you can do in your future. Have the best time at Skidmore.
Lauren, I remember when I first got into Phaedrus, you sent me a text saying that you were my mentor. I remember how happy you were to be my mentor and how welcoming all your messages were. Throughout this whole year, you have been kind and welcoming to every single student.
Your optimism and creativity can be seen from miles away, and everyone in Phaedrus will truly miss your presence. We hope Pitt is amazing, and we are sure that no matter where you go in life, you are going to bring people's spirits up.
Hannah, we will miss your contagious smile and laughter for years to come. Your constant drive to be better and better every day is something everyone should strive for in life, and something for everyone to take with them after this ceremony. Your inclusive nature is one of the many reasons why you are admired amongst all of us in Phaedrus. It is always hard to say goodbye, so instead I will say thank you. Thank you for always being a helping hand. Thank you for always contributing ideas. Thank you for always being there. And thank you for being you. Have the best time at Lafayette.
Aaron, we will miss your active and outgoing personality next year. You are a kind person who always wants the best for others. We appreciate when you share your insightful and sincere thoughts in all of our discussions.
We were so impressed when you took initiative during the camping trip by leading so many activities. It was amazing to be your mentees, and we are so happy to have you as a friend. We greatly appreciate everything that you have done for us, and we wish you the best next year at UVM.
Charlie, you will miss greatly. You brought so much to Phaedrus every day with your enthusiasm and willingness to share. You're a leader in every class, always sharing your knowledge about any topic, from movies to conspiracies. You've been such a welcoming presence in Phaedrus, making everyone feel included and never scared to approach new people. Charlie, you're the best mentor I could ever ask for. Thank you so much for an amazing year, and have a great time at Clark.
Wesley, we will miss your funny comments. You are very funny and caring and always have something positive to say or think about a situation. Everyone will miss you and your intense banana addiction. It is very obvious how much you truly care about Phaedrus and the people in the community, as shown in your passion to stay optimistic. You've truly made an impact as a Phaedrite and a great person. We are all truly going to miss you and have an amazing time at TCU.
Abby, your guidance throughout the year has been greatly appreciated. When we first got paired up at the beginning, I couldn't wait to get to know you better. Since then, you've been a great Phaedrus mentor and a great friend. I enjoy all the little jokes you make during classes, and you really know how to make anyone laugh. Your final project about serial killers was really interesting and unique. Have a great time at Buffalo, and thank you for all your help. We will miss you next year.
I'm back. We are so grateful that you accepted us with such welcoming arms. We were supported by you throughout the entire year, and you took true leadership roles to lead us through each new encounter. Your continued involvement within the program has created meaningful connections between us all, similar to that of a family. It is heartbreaking to say goodbye, but we are excited for what lies ahead for all of you. Seniors, continue to grow and make positive impacts throughout your college careers. We know that you will all be outstanding in whichever path you choose. Thank you for everything you have done for us and for the program. Now, we are so excited to hear from the seniors about their experiences in Phaedrus. And first up is Avery.
Is that yours?
No.
Before I say anything, I need to thank my mom for really encouraging me to look into Phaedrus because she knew that I would really benefit from this program. So thank you. I wouldn't have had these experiences without you or your support. You're probably going to hear this a few times, but Phaedrus goes by the motto, learning for the sake of learning. I feel like these last 2 years, I have really embraced not being held down by a letter grade or a test grade. Honestly, I'm a really bad test taker, so once grades were out of the equation, I was really able to immerse myself into the things I was learning. Thanks to Phaedrus, I have regained that spark that I once had for learning that I thought I had lost. I'm not sure there's another place in high school where you could take classes like Bad Guys and Government Spies, Scary Stories, Japan, Visual Media, Journalism, and many more. I walked into A school on the first day of junior year, very anxious and shy, and now I'm walking out of senior year a lot less anxious and shy. If you had told that shy, anxious junior last year that she would volunteer to do public speaking at A school graduation, she probably would have laughed in your face. Public speaking was probably one of my worst fears ever, and it still is one of them. But I feel a lot more confident doing it thanks to Corey's public speaking class. Without that class, there is no way I would have had the confidence to stand up here and make this speech, and I'm really glad that I'm able to. Phaedrus brings people together, and I'm so grateful for that because it has brought me some of my best friends and brought me closer to people who I probably wouldn't talk to if we weren't in A school together. I have some of my greatest memories from high school and A school. Corey, thank you for always supporting me and cheering me on. I had never been much of a fan of books until taking your classes and diving into the deeper meanings. Pam, thank you for always supporting me and making me laugh. Thanks to you, I can now fill out almost all of the 50 states on a blank map. I am so thankful for being in this amazing program. I seriously cannot imagine what my last 2 years of high school would have looked like without being in this program. Phaedrus was the highlight of my day and made me excited to come to school every day. To the juniors, thank you for making my senior year amazing. I have the best senior year ever, and I can't wait to come visit. To the incoming juniors, really embrace the program. You get back what you put in. While I'm sad to be leaving this program, I am appreciative of all my experiences in and through Phaedrus. Thank you. Next up is Lauren.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Bortner. It feels very surreal to be standing up here today. Phaedrus has played an enormous role in my life over these past 2 years. One of my favorite parts of A school has been the freedom and independence that we are given to explore not just who we are now, but who we want to become. Many of my peers outside Phaedrus ask me questions about my experiences like, what do you guys do on internships? Or why do you call your teachers by their first names? And what kind of projects do you do? I happily answer their questions. In fact, I embrace talking about the A school. I'm proud to be a part of it. Let me tell you why. There's an ongoing joke in A school that we need to learn how to describe the program in another way than just saying, Phaedrus is a half-day alternative program where we take our humanities classes. The truth is, Phaedrus is much, much more than that. We all make our attempts at describing the program during our Wednesday speaker experiences, but we struggle, because in reality, it is hard to describe the program in a brief, simple way. But I'll give it a shot.
Phaedrus is the place I look forward to going at the end of each school day. Phaedrus is the place where we're able to share stories, ideas, and laughs without judgment. Phaedrus is the place where we develop skills like how to talk to adults, work together effectively, write a super long English paper on a random topic of our choosing, in my case, carpentry. Phaedrus is the place where you're in control of your own education. Phaedrus is where you learn how the real world works. Phaedrus is where you learn from people different than you. Phaedrus is where you learn to be a leader, and that anything is possible if you try. Phaedrus is a second home. All of this would not be possible without our A-School dynamic duo, Pam and Corey. To me, Pam and Corey are more than just my teachers. They are my mentors, friends, role models, and guiding hands. I've never had a relationship like the ones I have with Pam and Corey until I joined the A-School, and I won't take it for granted. It's not often you have a teacher check on you when they know you've had a rough day, or go out of their way to encourage your dreams even if they don't seem possible. Pam and Corey don't just do this for me, but for everyone who has been lucky enough to be part of the A-School. I've never seen adults care so genuinely about children that are not their own the way Pam and Corey do. So thank you both for that. Also, thank you to my wonderful and supportive family. To the A-Schoolers from last year, thank you for all the help and guidance you have given us. Thank you to Mitch, Kelly, and Michelle for working with me all year as Thursday head. To my A-School juniors / soon-to-be seniors, good luck. In all seriousness, don't rush it. Take in every last sweet moment, laugh, and class you have with each other, because it'll be over before you know it. But don't worry, we'll be back to visit you, and we're always just a phone call away. To my seniors in the crowd, thank you. I've loved being a part of this incredible program together. This small group has become a comfort to me these past 2 years, and I'll never forget you guys. I'm so proud of all of you and wish you all the best in your next adventures, and congrats, we did it. Thank you. I always forget something. Next up is Hannah Cohen.
Okay. When I sat down to write this speech, I had a hard time putting my thoughts on a page. I made a long list of ideas, but I wasn't quite sure how I could convey how special and important the A-School is to me while serving it justice at the same time. I had all my senior options work and notes scattered around me, and I decided to take a break from writing this and organize my messy desk. During senior options, I learned all about Judy Cook, the founder of A-School, and the importance of an idea. Judy had an idea, an alternative school where kids could be free to learn how they want. Judy was a hardworking, strong, and brilliant woman, and she most definitely didn't let people get in her way. Some people didn't support her, but if it wasn't for her idea, I wouldn't be standing up here today. While reflecting on my time in Phaedrus, I've noticed how I've experienced this firsthand. One of the first ideas that came to mind was the New York City field trip from last year and the thoughts behind it. During U.S. history, Pam was teaching us about the historic sites in the city. This is when Maddie and I had an idea, to plan a field trip to experience what we were learning firsthand, so we did. With some guidance from Pam and Corey, they helped to empower us to make our ideas a reality. Another idea that came to mind was the community that I've been able to be a part of. Junior year is known to be the worst, and senior year college applications are just a whole nother level of stress. The community and the bonds that I've formed within A-School have made these times so much better. We've laughed, and I can say most of us have probably cried. And we've seen the good times and the bad, but I always knew I had people by my side. If it weren't for Pam and Corey, I don't think I'd be the same person I am today. The lessons I've learned from them will be something I'll take with me for the rest of my life. Pam's taught me the idea that you can achieve hard and scary things. She's taught me the idea of not taking yourself too seriously and that it's okay to let your goofy side out. Corey's taught me the idea of being a doer. And when you want something, make it happen because no one's stopping you. She's also showed me the idea that you can find light in the dark times. Together, they've both taught me the idea of how you should be grateful for what you have and the resources and people around you. And the idea that nothing lasts forever, so make the most of the time you have now. I've also finally learned the idea you can't always get what you want, and sometimes you just have to say it is what it is, but to an extent, obviously. And I realized the idea that hard work really does pay off. It's the idea that A-schools helped me become a prouder and more confident version of myself. And the whole idea of our inside joke of CTV and killer clowns. I've discovered that when you have an idea, just go for it because your actions impact others around you. I have the idea that I definitely know every single one of the juniors is going to thrive and succeed next year, and I have no doubt about it. And the idea that I know my brother Nate will accomplish great things in his time in Phaedrus, and now he'll finally understand why I talk about A-School so much. I've realized the idea that you are so much more than you think, and the idea of believing in yourself. It's the idea that A-School isn't just a place, it's a community, a friendship, a thought, a way of thinking, an idea. And most importantly, it's the idea that this isn't a goodbye, it's just a see you later. Thank you. Next up is Maddie.
If you know me, you know that I overthink everything, so it should come as no surprise that I've been thinking about this very speech since I was an incoming A-schooler at this very ceremony almost exactly 2 years ago. I think I can safely say that I'm a completely different person standing up here today than I was then, sitting all the way in the back and too nervous to return everyone's warm welcome with anything more than a shy smile. When I explain to people with whom I've only recently grown close how reserved I was before I was in A-school, they don't believe me. Phaedrus has completely transformed my willingness to speak my mind and share my thoughts with confidence. I can count on one hand the number of places I feel as comfortable as I do in Phaedrus, and I've often worried that I will struggle to find a community that will provide the same comfort that A-School has given me when I go to college and beyond. But what I've come to realize is that's sort of the point. I don't want to replace Phaedrus with new people and experiences. As Taylor Swift once said, as you grow, the list of things that makes you happy should not become smaller, it should become bigger. I've spent a lot of time analyzing Taylor's words this year, but this quote rings especially true as I move on to this next chapter. While I may not read another book for Corey or do another project for Pam, I will always have this community alongside my future friends and experiences. There are a few people I'd like to thank for both guiding me and cheering me on throughout these past few years. Firstly, my family. I'm so lucky to have so many family members here supporting me today, and I'm even luckier that each and every one of you has truly embraced Phaedrus as the centerpiece of my high school career. To the rising seniors, even though I'll always think of you guys as the juniors, remember your power. You have all proven yourselves to be incredible leaders, and I know that we are leaving Phaedrus in great hands. I cannot wait to see how much each of you will accomplish. Thank you for planning this day to be so special for us. To my fellow graduating seniors, I can still hardly believe that after today we will be Phaedrus alumni. These past 2 years have been incredibly special, and I feel so lucky to have spent them with you. I know I will look back on every moment with a smile. Congratulations to us. And of course, I could never forget the two incredible women that make all of this possible, who work so tirelessly to ensure that Phaedrus is a safe and transformative community for everyone who walks through those red doors. I have never felt support from anyone the way that I have from either of you, Pam and Corey. Pam, thank you for expanding my comfort zone. I think I've spoken up in your classes more than I have in the rest of high school as a whole. I'm seriously going to miss our morning conversations when I come to drop off my lunch, when you yell, "Maddie," from the other room, and I have to run over quickly so that you can hear me, and especially your spontaneous trivia sessions. I promise that I will always remember that our senators are Schumer and Gillibrand and know how to label a map of the US with all of the states and capitals. I dream to be cool enough that you'll invite me back to be a Wednesday speaker someday. Corey, thank you for always wanting to learn about all of my interests, no matter how random. You always manage to help me organize my thoughts, even if it's just by listening to me ramble until I figure it out myself. You've introduced me to some of my favorite books, all of which have taught me so much about literature, but just as much about life and myself. I'm going to miss all of your anecdotes that somehow relate to whatever we happen to be reading, but I'm so grateful for all 5 literature classes I've taken with you in the past 2 years, and also public speaking, because that's mostly what's prepared me so well for today.
It's rare that anyone gets to have one teacher as impactful as each of you, let alone two, for 2 whole years in a community as special as Phaedrus. The A School is truly one of a kind. You have taught every one of us that there are no limits to what we are capable of, and we are far beyond lucky to have you as teachers, mentors, and supporters. When I was a sophomore submitting my application to the A School, I didn't have any concept of how much this program would mean to me by the time I was the one up here speaking. But the one thing I would like to say to my 10th grade self, and to any incoming A Schoolers who may happen to be here today, is to savor it. Every single moment. And do the things that make you uncomfortable, because it's those memories that you'll cherish the most when you reflect on your Phaedrus experience. Thank you. And last is Abby. Growing up, I've heard people say how getting a pet saved their life, or meeting this one person helped them in a time of need. For me, it was a program called Phaedrus that ended up saving me. On the 20th of March 2022, I turned in my Phaedrus application after working on it for over a month. I was proud of myself after completing it, but felt reluctant in turning it in, as I had tried to convince some of my friends to apply, but they didn't want to commit to the application process. After turning in my application, my fear sunk in. I was scared that I'd be alone, and that I'd dread joining the so-called alternative school forever. The funny thing is that is so far from the truth. As I am proud to say that my Phaedrus experience has been the exact opposite. To be completely honest, I didn't even believe I would be accepted into such a program, but here I am giving a speech at the senior ceremony. Before joining Phaedrus, I was going through one of the worst times in my life. I had little to no motivation, and I couldn't even get myself out of bed half the time. My mental health was at the lowest it has ever been, and I was angry at myself and upset. But most importantly, I felt like a failure. I was missing the majority of my sophomore year because I was tired. Trying to be someone I wasn't was so emotionally and physically draining, but I continued to do so as I didn't want to be someone my friends didn't know. But I ended up becoming someone I didn't know. On the first day of my junior year, I was excited. When the time to go to Phaedrus finally came, I was really scared. I mean, I knew two people total who were also in Phaedrus, and the fear of being alone crept in again. The thought of being alone in an unfamiliar place was almost paralyzing, and I didn't know if I could face through it. Even though I felt uneasy, I reminded myself that I needed to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. When I entered E10, I was greeted by smiling faces and friendly demeanors. I realized that I finally found a place where I can be myself, free of judgment. Through my years in Phaedrus, I have gained a sense of confidence in what I could contribute to the conversation and motivation to come to school. By the end of junior year, I knew I made the best decision of my life. Throughout Phaedrus, I have become a strong speaker, reader, and writer. I have made so many friends within the program who I will miss next year. I want to thank Pam and Corey for being so supportive and understanding the past 2 years I've been in the program. I wouldn't be where I am today without your kindness and empathy. Seniors, I'm so grateful for the past 2 years that we spent together, and I wish the best for each and every one of you. Juniors, thank you for such an amazing year. I love getting to know you guys and wish you all a wonderful senior year. Phaedrus is and always will be my second home, and I've never felt more welcome or valued. I'm honored to officially be a Phaedrus alum and cannot wait to visit next year.
Can all the seniors stand? Face the audience. Say thank you to your parents, friends, anyone out there.
Here's the part where we give diplomas and our special gift, which is a book for each individual senior, and we're going to call you up one at a time.
Avery.
Malibu Rising.
Aaron.
Fight Club.
Lauren.
Demon Copperhead.
Alex.
The Swimmer.
Hannah.
The Lovely Bones.
So unfortunately, Wesley was not able to join us today. He's at college. He's at his orientation, so we would like to still say the book that he has.
We gave Wesley The Martian.
Maddie.
The Light We Lost.
Charlie.
Fire and Blood. House of the Dragon.
Abby.
We Are Not Free.
Alina.
Gold Diggers.
Sorry, I'm not a fan of the microphone. I hope everyone can hear me. Back row? All right. So, again, I want to thank all the seniors and all the people who spoke and all the people who didn't speak. I know you've spoken to us personally, so thank you. To all the guests, thank you all for coming so very much. Matt, thank you for being our guest speaker. You have continued to give back in many different ways, and hope that you will continue to do it for years to come. Thank you to Corey for arranging everything for today. I just came and could just read. She took care of everything, so I just want to again say thank you. To the juniors, all you guys, thank you for all your help making this a reality. So give the juniors a nice round of applause. I think Corey was so eloquent, so I will try to summarize where I'm going with this. History, English. So, to the graduates, I'm speaking just to you guys. If everyone else can hear me, right? Everyone's good? Okay. Keep your dreams and passions going. Enjoy each day and learn one new nugget of information or talk to one person that you've never really spoken to. Thinking back, I did love our trivia games, but loved it even more when you start to discuss the questions and talk to each other about the topics you found interesting or found new insight from the conversations. Come back and we'll play more trivia. I really enjoyed watching each of you pick a senior option and following through to the very end to complete the project. It was such a wide variety of projects I invite all of you, Monday, they're all going to be presenting. So please come back if you have an opportunity to hear their presentations. I have seen the spark in your eyes that you have used in the last 2 years to learn about the world and yourself. I hope that you can continue to embody the tagline of our program, to learn for the sake of learning. There have been so many events that you have been part of, from Wednesday experiences to field trips in New York, to camping in the wilderness, to taking classes that you really weren't sure you wanted to take, but you did enjoy them. Yes? Yeah. All right. To watching each of you present on topics that may have opened your eyes to something unique or new. Take these experiences and carry them on to college and beyond. Maybe join a club. Maybe go listen to a speaker that's come to your school. Or take a class just to take the class. The next chapter of your lives is ready to be written. Be like a sponge and embrace all the new opportunities that you will be presented with. Remember, we are here if you need us. Always remember that Phaedrus community and give back to the next community that you're a part of. Come back and visit. Thank you all very, very much for being here. So we would like to end that we have food, water, and there are gifts. So everything's over there, so please stay, hang out, take pictures and whatnot. Thank you again, everyone, for coming.
Can you see that?
Nice.